Hey guys, welcome back to Couchside. We have a political update. Today was the day that James Comey gave his testimony to the Senate committee. And Mario, how would you say that went?
I didn't learn a goddamn thing. Yeah. A lot of the things that were covered in today's testimony, we already were aware of, and we knew. We knew that the Russians did in some way interfere with the 2016 presidential election. But I felt like Comey's testimony was too careful. He tiptoed too much, trying not to make accusatory remarks or make baseless accusations. I don't know. What did you think?
Pretty much the same. I mean, I thought it was interesting to hear Comey vocalize what had been previously put out on the press and on paper, to actually hear him answer questions. But overall, we didn't learn too much more. It was really more of the same. We know that according to Comey's testimony that he met with Trump privately on several occasions, was asked for loyalty, was asked to let the investigation of Michael Flynn go, things like that. But at the end of the day, there's still no, and this is what the conservatives that are backing Trump will say, that there's no hard evidence against Trump up to this point. And to your point, I mean, you're of the belief, correct me if I'm wrong, that more likely it's just someone in his administration or several people in the administration that are guilty, maybe not Trump himself.
Yes, no, absolutely. I think his administration is full of a bunch of shady people. For one, I think there is some collusion going on, especially considering the fact that Jared Kushner is one of his senior advisors, who also happens to be his son-in-law. I mean, doesn't that seem kind of shady to you? And then the fact that, Kushner himself has met with the Russians on several occasions and also communicated with them in ways I'm pretty certain are not secure ways, no encryption or, probably direct conversations where possibly classified information was exchanged as well. So that's a huge security issue. That's a huge national issue as well. And that's a very valid point that James Comey brought up, is that it shouldn't be more a Democratic versus Republican issue as much as this is an attack on the country. We need to defend ourselves and make sure that if anyone from this country helped aid another foreign power in interfering in a presidential election, they should be brought to justice.
Right, and the thing is, and I've been from the start saying we got to just let the investigation completely play out. We're in the dark about a lot of things. I mean, There's classified things that the public does not know about. And so to definitively say one way or the other, this is what happened, we just don't know at this point. Mm-hmm. But what I do know is that Jeff Sessions and Jared Kushner, were both granted security clearances, and when they were going through to process that clearance, they essentially said that they did not meet with any Russians. They didn't include that on their security clearance form. Now we find out that they did. So my big point here is that Jared Kushner should not have a security clearance anymore. But
I agree.
But I mean, that's pretty much the extent of what we can prove up to this point, I think.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I think it's good that Jeff Sessions also recused himself from that investigation, but I think he was in part somehow involved in what they're investigating. I think that, I don't know, I think he should be dismissed as Attorney General, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, I'm of the belief, if I'm a betting man, I'm putting money on that someone in this administration is going to go when this is all said and done. I don't know that it's going to be Trump getting impeached. It may not get to that, but I could definitely see a situation where there's a couple people in his administration that get into some big trouble over what happened. At this point, again, I mean, we just don't know for sure. Not all the facts are out yet. Not all the classified things are out.
Right.
But, we have enough out there that there's reason to be suspicious.
Yeah.
And the other thing I wanted to talk about, Mario, outside of just, I think we generally covered what today's hearing was all about for the most part, but it's interesting when you look at people's reactions to this, because I for one, I spend some time looking around on YouTube comment sections, because sometimes I like to do that to see what people of certain mindsets are thinking. I particularly looked at some right-wing channels like the Liberty Hound and Fox News, see what kind of videos they're putting up, and people in these these comment sections, man, they are completely just going to bat for the president, man. Let me tell you, it's like they're saying that Comey is like. In some kind of like secret society with Obama and Clinton. They're saying that, there's nothing, that like this is a waste of taxpayer money. We should not be investigating Russia. Right. Like, it just amazes me, like, the extent that people will go to bat for someone in their own political party. And it's like, if the shoe was on the other foot, if this was Hillary Clinton, you wouldn't be saying it's a waste of taxpayer money.
One thing that made me believe that all the right-wing accusations that you say are a crock of bullshit is the fact that one of the Senate committee members brought up the possibility of maybe there are tapes, maybe all these conversations were recorded, and Comey said, "Great, I hope they are." I don't think he has anything to hide. I mean, even though, like I said, he kind of skirted around the questions, he didn't really give us many definite answers. The narrative that he did release kind of give us a more linear timeline and help us understand why Trump and his administration, they aren't really following the correct protocol. They aren't conducting themselves with the integrity, and the service that they should. That's what it is. At its heart, I think this administration is festering.
Right. The other thing is, if it's me personally, if I have to choose between following along with what Comey says, his account, and what Trump's account, I'm obviously going to believe the former FBI director.
Right.
Now, I know there's people out there that would believe Trump's account over Comey. Obviously, probably mostly Trumpers. But here's the thing: like, at the end of the day, it's a good thing our society does not go off of hearsay. At the end of the day, the facts. It may take a while, but the facts are going to come to light, and a decision's going to be made. Again, if you're asking me to predict how this all goes down, I don't know that I can say Trump's going to get the axe, but I feel like someone in his administration is going to be proven to doing something wrong, and where it goes from there, I just don't know.
Yeah, they got to clean that administration up, honestly, and then from there, I hope he learns his lesson, because I mean, aside from the whole Russia, incident and all that, he just doesn't conduct himself like a president should, man. He just represents this country in the most vile manner, and you can see it, the way that people around the world respond to him. And
that's been my biggest complaint of the president.
It's very disconcerting, man.
And it started with the campaign. Like, I thought, when the campaign was happening, I was like, oh, Trump's funny. Like, this is entertaining. But once the guy actually becomes president, a couple months in, it's like, this isn't entertaining or funny anymore. It's just sad. Like, it's at the point where I'm just ready to have someone act like a president that's leading our country. And, unless he gets impeached and it's Pence or something else happens, like, we're not going to get Pence.
That. I'd rather have Pence.
Yeah, so... But we're going to have to see how this all plays out. I mean, at the end of the day, the Comey hearing, it was really just more of it kind of felt like more of a publicity stunt than anything else. Just something to, we can sit in front of it and eat our popcorn and watch it. But we knew nothing was going to really come of this in terms of like a decision or a ruling. Yeah. So there's still a long way to go in this investigation, it seems. And we're just going to have to wait, people. I mean, and be careful of not trying to fall into a camp where you're saying this definitively happened or this definitively happened. Let the investigation play out. We got to see when the facts come out.
Yeah. As far as stunts go, too, I think it's kind of funny the fact that the Republican Senate tried to push like a repeal on Obamacare today while the committee was going on. They tried to pull like a Rule 14, which means that they could like overreach the committee.
That was the Senate did that?
Yeah, Mitch McConnell was pushing it.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting.
Yeah,
because you had the whole healthcare bill passing the House, and we assume it's going to go on to the Senate for a vote.
Right.
I guess that makes the vote easier if Obamacare is already repealed.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyways, guys, I think that just about covers today's news, and hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to stay tuned, and we got some more videos coming for you. We're going to be debuting Joint Face-to-Face soon, and that's going to be an exciting new thing for the channel. So
Yeah,
make sure you check it out, subscribe, follow us on Twitter, follow us all over social media, and we're going to keep providing you new content.
Thanks for watching.